So these are our characters. We have an instant gratification monkey. We have a panic monster. And we have our rational decision maker. Who is a procrastinator? Okay. We're gonna discuss. Let's talk about when that happened. Anybody was like that type of person in school, like a procrastinator. In other words, like I wrote my paper the day before, and not before.
Yeah.
Like literally the night before. Even if I don't sleep a wink, no one have a track meet tomorrow. That right after school, I'm still staying up all night to do this because I just literally wait till the last second. Okay, math, homework, stuff like that, I was able to kind of do daily, to stay on top of it. But when it came time for papers, for me, that was I hated English. I hated it. I would always ask the teacher, like, what do I need this for? Now, the irony is that I'm writing obituaries for a living and Bible studies. I mean,
that's what you need to avoid.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I really think back to it, that's exact, babe. You could put the AC on. We probably hadn't had it on.
No, it's just me. I don't know I don't know
everybody's
what
cold?
they put in the
Warm?
shrimp.
I'm kind of warm.
I don't know what they put in the shrimp spaghetti,
It
but
keeps kicking on every now and then.
I'm not cold.
You're not allergic to it, huh?
No.
You need Madeline to get a shot ready for you? All right.
I'm not.
Okay, so, shucks, what was I saying? Oh, about the writing stuff, writing newspapers, papers. So now I'm writing articles and newspapers, y'all. That's just how crazy God has a plan for everything. But that also tells me when you put your passion behind something, you get things done. So what's gonna stop us from procrastinating? And this is what a procrastinator how we balance our life. So some of the hard things that I wrote down in this little reel of an irrational decision maker, because each little piece of it takes a piece of us, right? So what are some of y'all hard things? Like you things you're supposed to be doing? Like what, just name some. Anybody. I think it's super personal.
Admin work for my job. Golly.
Do admin? So admin stuff? For work? Okay, anybody. Y'all just shoot stuff at me.
Exercising.
Exercise, yeah. Okay.
Figuring out what's wrong with people.
Contemplating life.
Like running it over and over in your mind until you get it right. Yeah. So just let's just call that mental energy.
Oh, I feel that one.
Mental energy could be whatever you put your thing in there, right? We're worried about this, we're thinking about that, we arguing with somebody else, whatever. How can I make more money? We get obsessed with it. How can I get out of debt? So mental energy. Anybody, anything. The hard thing you're supposed to be doing it right now. Somebody was taking medication. You're supposed to know your sodium.
That's about.
Tea. Come on, that's called diet.
Yeah, the medication
Being
thing.
consistent.
My life has been
Consistency.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are our hard things. And then on this side, we have our instant gratification monkey, who tells us, and they conflict each other. They wake up in the morning, they fight versus each other. So what is that also like? And what is this also like? Spirit, flesh, right? Pretty much. Okay, that's where I'm going with it. So our flesh, what are some things that stop us from achieving these things? So who said exercise? Or everybody? Okay, when it's time to go do exercise, what does somebody do?
Relax at home.
Relax.
Complain about traffic.
Relax. All right. Anybody else? When it's time to exercise, what do we do?
Find something else to do.
Like scroll or like go play ball with the kids. I mean, because there's days I'm like, man, if I just go throw football with Liam, I got a workout in. I really did. No, I did. I ran after the ball. So I could consider that, hey, any kind of movement. And like for a good hour, like I'd be honest with it, but it wasn't what I was supposed to do. Okay. So I was like you, Damon. I was trying to, in my mind, justify, man, do I really need to work out? I mean, I'm fit. I don't need like all that to the point where like, is it about the way I look or is it about my plan that I made with myself? Because y'all, that's where we get in trouble. When we don't stick to our plan. Stacy wants Damon to do yoga. Yes? You didn't come up with that. Okay. So how hard is it though to follow somebody else's plan? You know what I'm saying? Because bro, that's not your passion. That's not where I want. When I wake up in the morning, I don't wake up thinking like yoga. Deep down inside. Whereas you might say jogging or whatever else, and you're like, Stacy, let's go do this together now. Let's go. And she's just like, I'm not a jogger, or I'm not a cyclist, or what? She's just like, same thing.
But I did it.
So y'all, how do we get to the point where we, because this is all what it's always been about, systematic healing or systematic progress. So we have a boss that expects something of us and gives us like a work order. Like Shane, the ticket to go fix whatever else. Emily, an email that says administrative, bam, I need you to get whatever, right? Stacy, same thing, you know. But we have some orders or some Excel spreadsheet that dictates what we need to complete by the end of the month, right? Everybody from your job. Casey, it's not done till it's fixed, huh?
You're right.
The platform's running, then
Yeah.
you can go rest.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, this one's broken. So go fix it. But then when you stop, everybody goes home on their rack, what Casey's doing. If you still on it,
Yeah.
dude, you still on it.
Yeah.
And it don't stop. Okay? So y'all, why are we able to do that at work? But when it comes time for us in our life, like our real wants, why is it so doggone hard for us to attain it? Why is it so hard to stay consistent with it?
Because you get a paycheck from
Because
her.
we don't, yeah, it's not the instant gratification of a paycheck. It's just the duration of the reward is drawn out.
So there's something about a paycheck though, right? Every Monday,
Yeah.
I'm getting paid. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to ask for it. Every single Monday of the year, 52 of them, I'm getting paid. And bonuses in between. I never have to worry if my check today's Martin Luther King, only because the bank's not gonna hit, but today I got paid, okay? Isn't that something that everybody wants to work for? Like the consistent reward. Knowing that that thing's coming, I show up to work on Tuesday, no problems at all. How do we keep doing what we're supposed to do though, when there is no reward? When there is no paycheck on Monday? When it's gonna take 6 months before I get a paycheck and like to see the abs back and all that. I put on weight after my surgery, dude. I started eating ice cream. I mean, I needed it though. My doctor told me to eat ice cream as much with the calcium and everything to heal my bones. And y'all, it healed.
That's a good doctor.
Right.
You need a lot of ice cream.
So now she's back telling me I need to do the opposite, which, you know, in my little slot is ice cream. Okay, so these are some of my things right here. And when I say answering messages, that doesn't just mean from work. All of y'all. I mean, y'all, I can't tell you my phone. Oh my God, bro, my phone. Yeah. Answering messages. Not as a problem. The answering messages comes from my phone. You know what else has my phone has that capabilities to do? Scroll. Okay, so I have an issue there. I can't always, because dude, sometimes I like go to like answer a message and I'm like, I just tap Facebook. Like seriously, not even like thinking about it, I tap something else or like look up something. And dude, Google Earth. Like I will literally look up like, I don't know, Colorado somewhere. And just like go through neighborhoods. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then stop and be like, wait, stop.
No one does
Oh,
the
I
same
gotta
thing.
answer the message. I gotta
Dude,
answer the message.
did you know that?
Heard, where are
Did you know
you?
that?
I'm in Colorado right now. Don't bother me.
Hiking.
Use the app called
But I do that.
Purple.
I'm just being transparent. I do. Anybody else kind of get lost? You're supposed to answer them. So I'm constantly looking at my phone, which makes me look at other things too. Which if I could just focus on answering the message, I'd be fine. So work. Same thing at work, right? I get distracted at work. Gym. Okay, so gym, I can get distracted. But you understand, every one of these, you can pretty much find the match. When I'm supposed to be studying, whatever else, or writing this or whatever, I kind of get lost in the moment. I just kind of get into a chill moment, or like literally read one little thing and just expand on that one little thing I just read versus reading the whole thing and writing something like this. And then just kind of lose myself and just kind of get a paragraph in. Okay, cooking, going out to eat, right? Working on my marriage, getting distracted with the kids, going to hang out with Casey, going fishing, whatever else, something, okay? Kids, y'all get where I'm going. Okay, so that's our rational decision maker. That has a lot of the instant gratification monkey. Okay, so the instant gratification monkey and the rational decision maker somehow need to come together in the middle, right? So you can imagine who's driving the ship. This is our little wheel right here, where you driving the ship, okay? Now we have some hard things that we know that we have to do every single day. And then we have the instant gratification monkey. Then there's this little guy down here, okay? He's our panic monster. He's the one that we know that we're gonna fail the test tomorrow if I don't get this thing done, so I have to do it. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And it gives you like this little boost of energy. I kind of like, now that I think about it and study it, I liked the panic monster. Me and him got along because I'm all about putting adrenaline inside of me and like fighting or running track or playing football. Like I perform in my best level. That's all I do. I make arrangements and I execute funerals. And I'm talking a lot of people, y'all. Hundreds and hundreds of people I'm having to lead while they're grieving and instruct them and make announcements. And dude, you talk about your heart starts racing when you know you're about to walk out in front of all these people and there's issues and drama and and this one's about to cut up with this one and like having to like orchestrate all that and then make sure everybody else is doing their job all behind the scenes and smile. Because I know my cops are not here yet. My freaking cops are not here yet. You didn't call the cops? I forgot. Oh my God, dude. At this time, well, how am I gonna stall? How am I gonna stall? How am I gonna stall? I like it. I like that. It gives me like something I can't even tell you. So me and him got along for a long time. However, I didn't do anything in life until this guy showed up, which means y'all understand that system 5 moves ahead, 5 years later. That's not a good system. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna wait until your health is in dire, like literally to the point where you're about to die. Right, Casey?
Yes.
Until finally you're like, okay, I quit, doc, I quit. I'm gonna get off of my prescriptions. I'm gonna quit doing this. I don't wanna lose my kid. I'll do whatever it takes. That's a horrible way to live. So every one of us has this procrastination method. When we in high school, this thing works for us because we have a deadline and we have a boss and authoritative figure in our life, such as a teacher or a coach or whatever else, pushing us to the point where we have to do what we have to do. When we get to be adults, how much of this do we see? Other than like the truancy officer saying, did you bring your kids to school or they missed 5 days? Other than that, who? Y'all parents don't even live here. You know what I'm saying? Mine's in Del. But like if you don't have your parent at your house and checking on all your time, who is your boss? I mean, y'all kind of bounce off of each other. Let's say spousal support. But other than that, y'all, a lot of us fall into a place where we have relied so long on a panic monster, we don't know how to create a cycle of our own so we could be successful. So first of all, we have some goals in the room. Anybody want to share one goal of 2023? Just one goal. I don't care what it is. Madeline, you shared a bunch.
Fix your
Anybody
boat?
else? Fix your boat. Okay. Anything, a fix it
We want to
project.
meet with a financial advisor, go over some of our accounts, investments
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay. Perfect. That's awesome. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, anything. I mean, you look, y'all, exercise, I don't care. Fix what, build, huh? What? Don't
Yeah,
matter.
but we talked about that before you got in here. We're going to figure out how to make our addition to our house work for us.
Profitable.
instead of us working.
Yeah.
instead of
Passive
us working
income.
for them.
Got you. Okay. So everybody, Alicia, anything for you? Anything?
I got it.
You want to share them or no?
Yeah. I want to be more consistent with the kids. Learn how to say no and use my time more wisely other than
You call me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Call me.
saving to get out of the apartments and have a home. for
Right.
everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a big goal, and I know that I have to do every single step to get that.
How do you know that, Alicia? How do you know that if you have a big goal, you have to do what you said?
You have to take every little step
Every
to
little
get
step.
there.
That's exactly where I'm going with this, y'all. We see a prize at the end of the tunnel, every single one of us, but we get lost in the steps. Some of us don't even know that we can take the first steps. We just don't take the steps at all. We just think that like this is never gonna happen, and we don't even get moving. You know, God can't steer a parked car. You got to put that sucker in drive. Even if you don't know how to do it yet, put it in drive, and then you can kind of readjust and kind of get on it, and then, but so, hit the brake. Okay, hold on, wait, I didn't realize this button does this. But at least you like, and then like you learn as you go, kind of, right? A lot of us trying to jog, we get paused. We get stuck in this pause mode, and we can't move forward. Okay. Some notes that I kind of was taking before. So the radical decision maker. So y'all, if we have a panic monster, and we're constantly waiting on the panic monster to inspire us into these hard things, then we are unknowingly cursing our future. You're setting yourself up for failure so bad if you're waiting on this guy. In other words, if you're waiting on a doctor to tell you or an attorney to call you to say, hey, your wife wants to leave you. You know, that's what I did. I waited until the very last second to where like, she's leaving, she got the car packed, and it's done. There is no, well, you can imagine the panic monster. There was all these little instances where this little guy surfaced, and I just did what I had to do for a couple of days, but then I just kind of talked myself out of it, let's be just real. And I kind of smoothed it back over. Not quite as bad as I was, because I don't want this to come back out, but still doing things on my terms and my time and how I wanted to do it. It came back and bit me horribly. So, like I told y'all before, growing up like I grew up, watching people that procrastinate on their finances, on their job, on cleaning the house, on cleaning the fridge, so stuff's all stinky. And so, I mean, y'all, I can't just tell y'all, witnessing that, what that did for me, and then how I realized that a lot of those behaviors that I grew up witnessing are in my life now. and I didn't even realize it. Like, what? So this is all fine and dandy, and we have this little guy who's gonna come and mess with us when we're supposed to be exercising, and we get on this like scroll thing. Not a big deal. That's not really a big deal. But what happens when we have this long-term procrastination? You know, the thing y'all supposed to have been dealing with a long time. Casey, like your heart. And I keep picking on you, but bro, you're my
No,
best
you're
friend.
right.
I watched you go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How long did you know that your heart was on go fast mode? Like,
Oh.
like rabbit mode.
Yeah.
Not
a while.
turtle, rabbit.
A long time.
Long time. So I mean, at some point, you know, you have to
Years.
know. Years.
Yeah.
Like
years.
So the warning light was on his hood. So I mean,
Yeah, years.
here. And you never went to,
No.
never went to see about it. And y'all, if that was our car, damn,
Increase.
what you would do? Come on, bro. I see one little thing broken on my truck. I'm like, damn it. You got a second? Every single time. Yeah, man, what you got? Dude, something ain't right on my truck. You think you can get this part, whatever? I mean, immediately. And y'all, it's not because the consistency that I have created in my life has nothing to do with fixing the USB port on my truck. It has everything to do with not letting a thing linger behind me. Y'all, if you tell me to do something, like I'm doing it now. If you say to pray, I'm doing it now. If we have something to do, I'm waking up, bro. I can't even sleep. I'm so ready to wake up and knock out my task because that's how I am. Baby, can you just stay in bed, please? Please, one weekend. I gotta go to Stein's. I gotta get this. I gotta. Why am I like that though, y'all? I started to learn that this is all about me. These are my choices that I have to make. And if I could get consistent in the little things and stop procrastination in my own life, then I'm gonna be better accounted for against my friends. Because y'all, that's the charge against me, is that I'm an unfit, unstable, inconsistent father. That's why I can't see my kid. Unfit, inconsistent, and unstable. How many of y'all know me in this room? Am I those three things?
No.
Like, seriously, not even a little bit. Okay, now I am. I'm gonna be honest. This ice cream thing here, right here with the gym, that was my little slither in the middle. I had put a line, and I scratched it out right there. That's that ice cream, right? And I was gonna write it on. I'm like, no, I'm gonna just tell them. And that was just my brain saying, don't tell them to eat ice cream. Like, they know I eat ice cream. Anyway. So we're gonna get into the cycles thing, y'all. And like I was telling Casey, him and I had a good little discussion this afternoon. Y'all work hard on these things, and I know we all go home, and this is not y'all's revelation. This is not like something that y'all were like, I studied and worked my tail off to receive the fruit from this thing. So we go through this together, and I believe, like Emily and Shane, I don't think they mind me sharing it, but like when Shane went through that whole thing with his mom, they said, dude, if we wouldn't have had y'all group, we seriously. So I know that like there is fruit coming from this. I know that. I know people are growing, we're getting closer. But if we truly applied like Madeline did, Madeline, what did your 2022 list look like?
I didn't have one.
Okay. And you have what now? 17? Okay. The law of numbers, right? So that's in 1 year, y'all. 1 year of her attending and just having this all day long. 24/7, my girl sits there and takes it like a champ. And it inspires her. Some people shut down because of that and like, dude, I just get intimidated, you know. And then Madeline has initially kind of felt that way and then just really taken it by the horns. And dude, I'm just so impressed with her. I mean, she like literally takes these studies and like studies them and then prints them out and gives them to patients. So she's like working the material too, right? And the material, y'all, is like a program that we put inside of our mind. And as we, inside of a computer, you update your Apple 16.2, they have all kind of cool little features. You keep updating the software inside of your spirit with this, y'all, something starts to shift. But I'm a huge fan of you're not gonna reach your goal until you put it on paper. Okay, so just saying I need to meet with a fine dude. You said that, I know a bunch of them. Not trying to sway you anyway, but there, in other words, there's no excuse after this meeting. Like you have a, you know, and so.
You know what we need to do? All of this, we need to put together a resource list.
Nah, for real.
Put that as your goal.
That's admin work.
You could actually take the lead on that.
No, that's admin work.
Just add another one.
Okay, y'all, so here we go. We are, and Stacey, that is a great idea, because I have a lot of resources, boo, and like to make an inventory of it so that, but I know in my mind who I need to call when whatever happens,
We
you know.
need to put our email addresses in the group chat.
Okay. Okay, so y'all, here we go, cycles. Okay, so we have some cycles in our lives. So last thing on the procrastination and stuff, y'all. Long-term procrastination is much more unnoticeable and much more deadly. It's a suffered quietly kind of thing. A lot of us have this long-term procrastination where for years and years and years we have been neglecting this until somebody kind of challenges our mind. So we have this strong, it's called a stronghold in the Bible, okay? And we have this stronghold that we believe we just can't do it, we're not worth it, whatever else it is. And somebody else has to come along and say, yes, you are, and this is how he's done, okay? I need you to do this, this, and this. And dude, watching people come out of that little thing of mud is just the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed in my life. To confront the stronghold in their mind. So that's what the Bible tells us that we need to do, y'all. Okay. It is also the source of long-term unhappiness and regrets, okay? Who wants regrets? Who wants unhappiness? It comes from procrastination, y'all, okay? The question you ask is, why haven't I overcome not administrative work? Why have I not overcome exercise? Why have I not overcome mental energy, diet, or consistency? It is, why have I not overcome procrastination? That's the question. None of that other stuff. Don't get stuck on the list. Get stuck on the fact that, like, if you truly look at the entire cadence and ripple effect of your life, you procrastinate in this one area, it starts to slowly ripple into the other areas. I believe if we do the little things that we know that we could do, make your bed, whatever, you know, just these simple little tasks. Make sure that you go to bed every night with this. I don't care if you do 10 push-ups. For me, it was to work out every single day. And a workout to me was 5 push-ups. I don't need you to tell me, bro, about my plan, whatever. Oh, you ain't working out. Why didn't you see you leave the house? I did 5 push-ups. I got me a little pull-up bar. I got all kind of stuff within my house to where I had a speed bag, I had a thing. And that's kind of how the home gym was born for me. But it started right in my house. And no excuses if that's your target. So everything you can do, or go knock on the door. Damn, hey, can I come borrow your gym real quick? I want to work out my biceps. Casey had a thing. We stayed in his daddy's little shop.
We always worked on it.
But that's where it starts, y'all. So what the question is why can't I overcome the procrastination? So let's talk about the big thing, okay? And then what long-term procrastinations am I overlooking, okay? What long-term procrastination, y'all can add that to the bottom of your normal little questions, okay? So who do you want to become is one of the questions. What do I need the courage to stop? What triggers lead to the wrong outcomes? What moods or places tend to get me in trouble? Who can help me? And Dwayne Johnson wrote, it's in any success starts with self-discipline. Everything starts with you. And then the last 2 questions, y'all. Why haven't I overcome procrastination? So that's the question down on the bottom. Why haven't I? And so y'all, prayer. I mean, you know, what long-term procrastination am I overlooking? What long-term procrastination? And like, maybe it's an intentional overlooking. Like, y'all, and I preach this every week, but if our kids got to heaven based off of our prayers, how many of our kids would be in heaven? Like, that we know that. Like, not because of the blood of Jesus, just based off of how much hours you spend in a day praying.
Dude, as many times as I prayed over them being in y'all's school, y'all know they going straight there.
I know. But I'm talking y'all 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. How much time? And not just that, for our own self, our husbands, our wives, or whatever else. That's another thing that's not on that list. That's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to carve out time. So my little thing is I like to go like work out. Like if I don't go to the gym, I don't tell anybody this because I want them to leave me alone. But if I'm not going to the gym, I'm going in the back and I'm going to pray. I'm going to hit the rowing machine and I'm praying for an hour. I'm calling out the stuff. I'm praying in tongues. I'm doing my little thing back there. They could come back there. They think I'm crazy. Liam kind of comes back like doing some gibberish like in tongues and stuff. And Mana's like, were you praying out there? Because like Liam's just like mimicking my little stuff. And I'm like, that's my little thing though. So I have learned to combine 2 of them because I need this little slice of my time to make things happen. I learn when I'm driving, I get to listen to sermons and like fill myself in because I don't have time to study. So like you have to figure out what little pieces are your hard things that you have to do. You know, like praying or study. I call studying, y'all, listening to sermons like challenging my own stronghold about listening to a pastor talk about the Bible and how Jesus feels about the way I think about, I don't really care for this, or I don't want to eat dairy, or I don't want to do this. Am I truly listening to what God's telling me to do, or that's just something Kurt wants to do? So I have to listen to sermons. I have to get fed so that I can come in here and teach and in prison and all the different things. So those are non-negotiable things. The gym for me, the study, the cooking. So I started cooking and listening to sermons at the same time. Anybody else? So you can start to combine some of these things, y'all, till you have better time management. Because you're going to put a little pie graph like this on your paper. And you're going to kind of try to stick to one for a while. Whether it's walking or going to do this or going to do that. But if it rains and a little cold snap comes for 5 days straight, it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? In case he has one little slip up, he goes offshore, he comes back in. You know, he'll get on it, bruh. He's 7 days he's here, then he goes offshore, work his butt off, then he comes back home and he's tired.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I'm
Bruce,
done.
you been hitting the gym? No, man, I ain't going at all. And bruh, he was like every single day. Then his heart thing happened, and it kind of knocked him off his rocker. And he hadn't been doing like that's the Bruce I know. And me and him grew up together, hitting it every day. And then he falls in a little slump. But y'all, every one of us, if we're honest, has been consistent with something in our life, fallen off of it, picked up something else, and it keeps moving. But if we're honest, the procrastination never stopped. Pick a different project, pick a different habit, pick a different exercise, but the procrastination has always been there. So our target is not to address exercise or building a company or whatever else it is. Our target is to address the little small procrastinations that we tell ourselves. The little ones, like not to meal prep or not to fix my lunch before I go to work, like whatever those little things are, go above and beyond to just do it. You know, even like Madeline, we don't necessarily tuck the sheets in, but my wife every single morning pulls the sheets back and tucks it to her like when she comes home. And that's like one of the little habits that she has. You know what I'm saying? To like make sure like those are these little things that we do to just have to stay consistent, okay? And then so what are we doing, y'all? We're talking about how the whole cycle thing works. Because remember, it all starts to feed on itself. So we do one thing and then the whole thing walks itself out in a circle. Everything we do is circular. You're going to do something and then you're going to walk it out in a circle and come right back again. You're going to do something, then you have to answer for it. You have to do whatever you just did, your action. You have to walk it out in the circle and come back and you get another chance. How many times are we going to discuss, do we continue to walk around in circles? Number one, we are what we repeatedly do. Okay, our brain uses 80% of our body's energy. That's 80%. Anybody feeling tired and sluggish and like you just don't have the mental energy, that's because you have unfulfilled procrastinations inside of your head that keeps playing over. You've gotten so good at ignoring it that you don't realize it anymore, but y'all, it's killing you. It's like apps being open on your phone that's just running and running and running your battery down. Your phone's slow, it's clogged up. You got all this stuff running in your background, and these little procrastinations build up and build up and build up and build up to y'all. It gets to the point where we lose our like drive to keep doing good in life because like we know that we're not gonna finish it. So why even start? That's a horrible place to be, because when somebody like me or with good energy comes along and says, dude, I got something I want you to try out. Yeah, but man, and we blame it on, with the kids and everything, dude. Just, you know, man, it's just, y'all, I'm saying that my thing was I'm gonna stay home, be with my kid, and don't go do anywhere, don't go nothing, but I'm gonna use drugs. That was like you're doing good, dude. Yeah, you're home with the kids, but you're just eating all kind of pain pills and all kind of mess and just sitting outside and tiddling with projects and stuff, but not doing anything that I wanted to do. So I just and it made me even worse of a drug addict, y'all. It made me just stuck in the mud, like I'm not accomplishing these little wins and victories in my life, which is why now I push so hard in the gym, because it gives me those little victories of consistency to go do all the other things that I don't feel like doing, okay? I'm a homeowner now. It's a home that has a lot of little projects that I've never done before. Like, I'm keeping it real with y'all. I have never had to like screw in that kind of light bulb and whole fixture that I did the other day. I was so paranoid that I was gonna shock myself. I went get a meter. I got 2 different meters to make sure this one was working and that one was working, that I'm not gonna shock myself, because wait, if I leave the switch on, is it still gonna shock me? No, it's not gonna shock me. Then I get up there and I'm looking at the wire. I'm like, let me just go look. I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna go check it out, and then I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go get some batteries, and I'm gonna go to my shop, and I'm just keeping it real. I didn't know how to change the doggone light. But if I don't do these little victories every day all the time, then I don't even have the confidence to attempt it. Shane, you home, my brother? Come help me change the light. Damon, you home? Casey, y'all home? That's what, and y'all, I do that all the time just because that is part of me not procrastinating. Some people say like, oh yeah, I don't want to bother. it's not even about that. I feel like we grew up to where like somebody got a project due, we coming. Like what you got. And that's how we just roll. I mean, period. We just get a lot of stuff done that way. He needs stuff done. Yep, I need stuff done. And we just keep, and look, I had plans on Friday, but it don't matter. He calls, I'm rolling, because how many times, you know what I'm saying? There's been, and when the lines are hot and there's like somebody on a project, you move now. You wait on it, that thing falls through the cracks and you kind of forget about it for a long time.
Next time, just turn the whole house off.
Dude, I'll kill a pot with everything.
Oh no,
I'll turn the main
I figured it.
off.
I figured it out. It was you understand? It was a challenge for me. I had to pass this little test.
Electricity, so I just turn the whole thing off.
Yeah. So I got my little testers and I figured that out. I had to figure out how to work the little test and do. By the time I have to do lights again, I probably didn't forget it. You know what I'm saying? I have to research it again. But the thing is that I could have simply said, because that little light was just poo underneath there. Now we have this bright light where we're like, if we entertain or what, it's lit up under there. Versus that other one that was kind of like this and it was yellow looking. You couldn't really see. So I'm like, I just want to change the whole thing. Well, I changed it and we love it. Now it's like we have a great light source right there. But it could have been the old Kern that just goes buy a bag of Steins and sticks it in my shop, and I'm gonna wait on Casey, and I'm gonna wait on Casey, and I'm gonna wait on Casey, and oh man, you can't come. Well, I've been waiting on Casey, baby. I'm gonna get it fixed, but I'm gonna just, or I just grab the bag and go make it happen, right? And so every other area of our life, y'all, same thing. Going to the gym, dieting, cooking, doing finances, like you said, working on a different job or a career or a resume, building yourself up in your finances. Same thing with Stacey, building, like Damon's probably starting to think, okay, what other little job I could do, or maybe even a permanent job. Like if I found this thing where like, man, we could do this, your mind starts wondering. He starts to wonder. You make one phone call, you don't get the job, whatever, it don't work out, guess what? You lose all esteem. If you don't have this little cycle thing set up in place to where you know that, hey baby, it failed, but I'm coming back around. It failed, but I'm coming back around. Versus I'm falling, tires flat, I'm done.
But
Okay?
you know, I think that's like, now that you mention it, that's a big problem with with healthcare in general, is we're procrastinating with the medications that
Right.
we
Addressing the
take.
symptom, not the
And just, you know, taking an antidepressant without ever addressing the underlying. It's just we're just putting it on the back burner and waiting until
and
it
that's the
doesn't
problem.
work anymore.
And that's the problem.
That's why those
Stop
people
taking it.
did what they did the other day to her, because so many people have been so used to just a doctor just kind of putting it off. And you meet somebody who's like, yo, you want to deal with this or not? You want to deal with this? Because this is really how you fix it. Now, you want to try to deal with it first, because I'm not just writing you the crutches first. You're going to deal with it. You fail, come back and see me, then we'll give you some crutches. I would be the same thing. I'm not willing to look, I'll give you 7-day supply or whatever else, but I'm not about to be, your drug dealer if you're thinking that's where you're here.
Yeah.
And rightly so.
Monthly
So
script.
somebody got upset because she asked them if you want to get like completely well versus, and so I think it's amazing. I'm kind of glad that she got a penalty flag flown on the field, because she's doing exactly what we're talking about, y'all. She's addressing it. She's addressing it in people's lives. 99% of them are going to take what she said, even if it's a little seed, and do something with it. There's going to be the 1% that says, I don't care about it. I just want the pill. Well, then do that. That's cool. But I'm proud of her for getting the penalty.
And you'll soon be writing the obituary for him.
Exactly. That's right, Damon. No, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
That's exactly what I'm talking about. There is death imminent in some of our lives if we look ahead, 5 moves ahead. If I keep on this road, there ain't nothing good coming out of this. I just know it. And we don't deal with that, dude. This dude is going to come in the worst kind of form. He's going to come gotten busted and going to jail for it. It's going to come like the craziness. You're going to lose the job. Something incredible is going to come if you're waiting on the panic monster. And y'all, most of us, like I said, I was a learned behavior pattern of mine to wait on the panic monster to like learn to do things instead of like chipping away at it. That wasn't my attitude pretty much in high school. Like I said, only with English, but every other area, I was pretty much on top of my studies, even in college.
Do you
So-
understand that some people live in the panic monster?
The what?
Some people live in the panic monster.
I do. No, like all day long, but why? Because he's out and you don't deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? So there's some things in our life that's with anxiety, like you say, like it's extreme anxiety where we have to be medicated.
I can't have nothing pending on y'all.
Exactly.
They used to, at work, I used to know I need to get that.
But they don't know how to live without it.
Yeah.
And they
No.
have become, it's almost become a friend to them.
It is. So they allow residents in the house. And that's why when something truly comes along, they can't react to it or respond because they're so used to living with the panic monster. And so they constantly are in this state of anxiety and whatever else that's not even related to what's happening. It's coming from some area that's like, not been dealt with for a long time. And y'all, I mean, when the Holy Spirit's knocking on your heart, it's like being locked in a mosquito with a room at night with a mosquito. He will act. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want none. I'm like, dude, I hear it buzz for 1 hour. Okay, what? Who? I gotta call what? No, you need to stop talking. I gotta call this person. I'm just sorry, but I gotta call this person. Whew. I don't want no more, dude. I don't want to be trapped in a room with a mosquito all night long. That's how I feel with the Holy Spirit when I have the panic monster. That is my panic monster, is a mosquito in a room, bro. Buzzing and buzzing and buzzing to where I can't take it no more. The conviction of God is so strong. Then I start worrying 5 moves ahead. Well, what if that leads to this? And what if this is, no, because I know, God, you're going to teach me a lesson. I don't want none. I'm out. And I hurry up and just do it because I'm so scared of the outcome of that. Anybody else feel that? Anybody feel that conviction, like ever, like just, or whatever, just something on the inside, like maybe your wife is upset with you and you feel it growing. And so you're like, okay, let me just knock this thing out, or vice versa. Or, you know, that you just feel this tension that's starting to grow until you go do it. Same thing is the mosquito buzzing. Okay. The faster we come, y'all, the better we're going to be. So look what he says. It's important to know that our mind doesn't know the difference between physical pain and emotional pain. So just because we can't see it doesn't mean the pain is not there. This is what it says in Hosea. My people are destroyed from lack of knowledge. I don't believe that any person in this room doesn't want to not procrastinate. I think we just don't know how. I think if we had a little system in place that we taught and got good at, to where collectively in this room, we could all come together and say, well, this is how I do it. This is what I do. Stacey's throwing suggestion about this, to where we collectively come up with this little plan to where, man, there is no procrastination. Number one is to be humble about it and say, this is what I'm doing, bro. I'm procrastinating on this. I need help with it and moving forward. Okay. For lack of knowledge is the reason we haven't started. If we are to be good Christians, we are to help one another carry each other's burdens. But if we aren't careful, we will face shutdown or burnout. Okay, what is burnout? Then coming home to our wife and children and they are shut off. Okay, that's when you start to see the fruit of burnout. Let's discuss how to assist our friends and also keep our lives healthy. We all deal with setbacks, but in the long run, the quality of our lives often depends on the quality of our habits. With the same habits, you end up with the same results. But with better habits, anything is possible. Let's repeat that. With better habits, anything is possible. Okay. Too often we convince ourselves that massive results require massive actions. So the strategy is called aggregation of marginal gains. Anybody ever heard that? So over the course of a long time, I don't know if I wrote it in here. Let's see, cyclists. Yeah, so these cyclists, when they were cycling like Lance Armstrong back in the day when they were trying to figure this all out, they would learn to just change the pedal, change the tires, get less grip on it. Like this little thing gave me 0.4 seconds faster. This little adjustment made this, making the helmet more aerodynamic this, to where it got to the point where now we shaved a second off of his time. Same course, same everything. Yeah. They started to make these little bitty adjustments. That's when this guy wrote about aggregation of marginal gains. That is somebody measuring all these little things and how over the course of time, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Kind of like our finances, 401k, whatever. Stock, how it just slowly builds, okay? So the strategy of aggregation of marginal gain is attempting to have tiny improvements in everything you do. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The effects of your habits compound as you repeat them. They seem to make a little impact on any given day, but the effects on a month and a year are enormous. It's only when looking back 2, 5, or perhaps 10 years later that the value of good habits and the cost of bad ones become strikingly apparent. Y'all think about that. If you look back 2, 5, and 10 years and you're like, can y'all honestly say right now, God, if I'd have quit that, or if I would have done that, or if I would have left that person alone, or if I wouldn't have messed with that. Looking back 10 years and you're like, dang, anybody? Yeah? Even the smallest ones, okay? We often dismiss small changes because they don't seem to matter very much in the moment. If you save a little money now, you're still not a millionaire. If you go to the gym 3 days in a row, you're still out of shape. If you study Spanish for an hour tonight, you still haven't learned the language. We make a few changes, but the results never seem to come quickly, and so we backslide into our previous routines. Anybody can identify with that? Unfortunately, the slow pace of transformation also makes it easy to let a bad habit slide. If you eat an unhealthy meal today, the scale won't move much. If you work late tonight and ignore your family, they'll forgive you. If you procrastinate and put your project off until tomorrow, there will usually be time to finish it later. A single decision is easy to dismiss, but when we repeat 1% errors day after day by replicating poor decisions, duplicating tiny mistakes, and rationalizing little excuses, our small choices compound into toxic results. It's the accumulation of many missteps and a 1% decline here and there that eventually leads to a problem. Okay? Y'all see where we're going with it. So what are you slicing out of your little pie wheel that you just keep consistently doing? Did you miss a day? No big deal. Was it too cold for you to go out for a walk? No big deal. But if it one day turns into pretty much blah, 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 then y'all can understand this. It's not beating the procrastination itself, okay? The impact created by a change in your habits is similar to the effect of shifting the route of an airplane by just a few degrees. Imagine you are flying from Los Angeles to New York City. If a pilot leaving LAX adjusted for just 2 to 3 degrees, y'all. So you got this guy flying right here. And he's flying in this direction right here. And you tell him just to change it 1 degree. So like 1 degree right there. And right here, it doesn't look like much. Over the course of this whole thing though, y'all can see slowly it's just gonna keep. And over the course of 10 years, 5 years, we're gonna be almost in 2 different places, man. I mean, completely, almost like north and south, completely on 2 different sides of the equator.
Yep.
That's just 3 degrees, y'all. Some of us have severe habits that we're not able to manage. If we have one little thing that's stopping us from going, whatever your excuse is, I hadn't been going to the gym after work, I haven't been doing this, I haven't been eating whatever processed meats, or for me, you know, like staying off of the ice cream and the sweets, because it's not because I'm fat or anything. Is because it gives me heartburn, y'all. Sweets gives me heartburn like nobody's business, dude, and I suffer with it. I mean, y'all, I work in the industry where there's king cake right now on every table in the funeral home.
Yeah.
Donuts. Y'all, if you see what it's like, a spread in there, brownies, and the family's like, we got lunch coming. Y'all need to get rid of all this. That's like heaven for a big kid like me in a candy store. Wait, y'all don't want none of that king cake? No, seriously, throw it. We have Chick-fil-A, we have this, we have my uncle's bringing a roast. Get rid of all of it. Y'all want us to throw it? Throw it. Seriously, throw it. We have food at home too. I'm like, put that thing in my truck. In my truck. No, that's the big fat kid on the inside of me saying that. But I'm not.
I would never
yeah.
be able to work there ever.
Dude, let me tell you, one of the hardest things in the world. So, yeah, if a pilot leaving LA adjusts just 3.5 degrees, you will land in Washington, D.C. instead of New York. Such a small change is barely noticeable at takeoff. The nose of the airplane moves just a few feet, but when magnified across the entire United States, you end up hundreds of miles apart. Similarly, a slight change in your daily habits can guide your life to a very different destination. Making a choice that is 1% better or 4% worse seems insignificant in the moment. But the span of moments that make up a lifetime, these choices determine the difference between who you are and who you could be. Who you are and who you could be, okay? Success is the product of daily habits, not once in a lifetime transformations. Let's say that again. Success is the product of daily habits, not once in a lifetime transformations. A lot of people think this success story is like they met this person and boom, it all happened. Y'all, it took thousands of little steps before you even met that person. Before I ever met my Madeline, I had so many wrong steps to take. Vice versa. She'll tell you the same thing. I mean, really, until you finally got the job or like actually appreciated the job. Because I had an amazing job before, just didn't appreciate my job. I lost it. Didn't appreciate my wife. I lost it to the point now where like I cherish my little wife. Like we do everything together. That's my friend. Before it wasn't the case. I was trying to get away from her, hang out with friends, do dumb stuff. It was bad. So when you get to the place where you could actually, so what I'm trying to say is even all that failure is piled into my success, not just some transformation. So if success is the product of your daily habits. Y'all, how important it is for y'all to write something down on the back of that paper and like, bro, make it happen. And it doesn't have to be like Damon and them, pick on them, yoga. It could be, you know what, I did yoga on Monday, Wednesday, I'm going for a walk. You know, my thing is to do 3 days a week. Well, if you do yoga on one with Stacy and the other time you're like, I'm burnt out on this, let me just go for a walk and go outside and do a sincere walk or whatever else, you're still winning. You're still winning.
Yep.
So set the bar as a general thing that you want to do, and then work towards just doing it versus being so strict to where like this is all we can do and you kind of setting yourself up. Know yourself enough to know to give yourself a little wiggle room in there, but make the goal like a reachable goal.
Yeah, that's why, because I originally was like, okay, we're gonna do something way more difficult than stuff that we used to do a long time ago. And I was like, he's gonna fight me on wanting to do it. And I was watching him, I'm like, he's not flexible enough anymore to be able to do that. We need to pare back.
Yeah.
And
Find something else.
Find something else, and then work our way back up into it to where he's actually looking forward to doing it because he's got the mobility and stamina and things like that. So.
Yeah, y'all, when we nail down the procrastination, it doesn't matter what plan we apply in the future. We just got rid of procrastination. So we know in the future, whatever I do, I'm going to stick to because I figured myself out enough to know, like, this is what I have to do. Okay? That said, it doesn't matter how successful or unsuccessful you are right now. What matters is whether your habits are putting you on a path towards success. You should be far more concerned with your current trajectory than your current results. If you're a millionaire, but you spend more than you earn each month, then you're on a bad trajectory. If your spending habits don't change, it's not going to end well. If you're broke, but you save a little bit every month, then you're on the path towards financial freedom. If you're moving slower than you'd like, even if you're moving slower, okay, your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. Wrap your head around that. The outcomes in your life right now are the lagging measure of your habits. Your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Your weight is a lagging measure of your eating habits. Your knowledge is a lagging measure of your learning habits. Your clutter is a lagging measure of your cleaning habits. You get what you repeat, y'all. If you want to predict where you end up in life, all you have to do is follow the curve of tiny gains and tiny losses and see how your daily choices will compound 10 or 20 years down the line. If you're spending less than you earn each month and you're making it to the gym each week, or you're reading books and learning something new each day, tiny battles like these are the ones that will define your future self. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Y'all wrap your head around this. I'm going to say it again. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Okay? Good habits make time your ally. Bad habits make time your enemy. Habits are a double-edged sword. Bad habits can cut you down just as easily as good habits can build you up, which is why understanding the details is crucial. You need to know how habits work and how to design them to your liking so you can avoid the dangerous half of a blade. Okay, you understand where I'm going with it? You have to develop your own habits. So, and I keep picking on them because I know it's a perfect scenario for y'all. If Madeline asked me to do yoga, I could not give her a consistent of my heart like I'm in it. I just would not be me. Now, we go cycling or something else or kayaking, bro, I'll go do it for 6 hours.
Yeah, it's easy to do something that you are into.
That's it.
Dude, like, just working on cars. I mean, yeah, you get frustrated, but dude, I could do that all day long.
Yeah.
Or tinkering with just little things. Something that you don't like to
Right.
do, you're gonna procrastinate on it
Right.
and not do it.
Right. But so like, wait, staying in the ballpark though. So like, let's stay in the ballpark. If we are working on, and correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all concern is physical activity, yours, towards yoga or what? So in the physical activity ballpark, what are some, and listen, I know turning wrenches and getting in the cars and getting all these uncomfortable positions, it is a workout. working on stuff. A lot of ladies don't think that, but you sitting in this, trying to get your arm in this thing and like you all cooped up and stuff, bro, I get cramps just trying to put a screw in because I'm like my big butt trying to squeeze my arms and these little cracks and all this stuff. Dude, after that, my legs are shaking because I gotta like hold this one leg to where I can get in there.
That's
Like,
yoga.
bro.
But then you know what? Then that yoga helps you out because you're stretching and you it.
So bro,
So
you need to
it's
make a
working,
video
you know,
about
it's just
yoga
that-
and the benefits of turning wrenches.
Yeah.
Yeah, how yoga changed my life turning wrenches.
Look at that, right?
No, I love it. So staying in the ballpark, what are some things you could do to where like, baby, let's like I'm down to go walk. We can go walk down the street. Maybe we could take the kids to the park, let them ride our bikes so we can do, but whatever. I will go run in the backyard like some suicides or just some like wind sprints. Just kind of jog your backyard and turn around and finish, jog back and do 10 of those. And like that'd be your workout for the day. And bro, that's literally 10 minutes maybe. But my thing is, am I sore today from what I did yesterday? No, then I need to step it up a little bit. My goal for me is to be sore physically, but my brain feels so good, bro, when I leave the gym. Like I feel it and I feel more confident when I go to work. I just feel better, but I like to be a little sore. Yesterday, I kind of got back under the bench. I got to 300. Madeleine's not happy with me. But I did. So I'm good. I'm getting my strength back. I feel confident, but that did something amazing for me, bro.
See, it's hard for my brain
That's a lot.
to like wind down. Like
Yeah.
I'm always 120 miles an hour.
And then you crash.
Yeah, and dude, when I tell them, you need something done,
No.
and it needs to be done before I sit down.
Yeah.
Because when I sit down on that couch, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like I will pass out in 5 minutes. Like so, I need and when doing yoga, I do this like.
So it really is. It's like a meditation,
It's bringing
bro.
you down, but I guess in a good way.
Yeah.
'Cause my mind is always running. Bro.
Yeah.
Like it's.
And he's a runner,
Man, that's
and
good,
I hate to run, but we did it for I did
I
it
don't
with
like
him.
running.
I did it
but
with him for a long
rather
That's what
time.
you
over
used to.
Other.
That's one of your
Yeah.
well-known habits. So a
Yeah.
lot of us return back to what we know, which is our well-known whatever. We just do that. It's because like we got out of a pinch one time in our life and we got kind of good at going to the gym. So that's what I do now all the time. I'm not saying if I put an easel right here and started painting, it might not do the same thing. Or do yoga and meditate and go sit. But I have done the workout thing for so long, it follows me. Like I'm gonna put a shop and I'm putting it in the shop. It doesn't matter where I'm at. That's my little go-to. So like for you, the running thing, that's kind of like.
Yeah, but I kind of
What
called
you
him
know.
bluff on that, and I got a treadmill. But he's like, oh, I'll get up at like 4:45 and go. And so I got a treadmill up in the house.
Crickets. You didn't hear it running? Well, bro, listen.
that's why I
It's
was
all
like-
about finding your groove. And y'all, listen, I got a wife now. I'm not on this fight anymore to be like this hot, fit guy to try to get a good-looking woman and all that. Like, I wouldn't call it fat and happy, but I kind of am. I just don't care if I eat ice cream every night. I don't care if I have a little pinch around my waistline. I just like, it's gotten to the point where like I want to stay healthy and alive, but like this whole thing of like being this fit kind of, I just don't have that drive anymore. Plus, if I'm gonna parent kids, I kind of got convicted on that. I just can't be living my life at the gym. They need me more here than my mirror needs to look at me. You know what I'm saying? And that was a hard reality,
Yeah,
but
I'm
it's
the same way. I
real.
don't
So
have
the fight to keep going and run like what I was doing, it ain't there anymore. So as long as I
Same
stay
thing for me.
consistent, So you get what you repeat, y'all. Just follow the curve. Yeah, follow the curve of tiny gains, tiny losses. Time magnifies the margin. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Okay. Oh wait, yeah.
We're on the next
My
page.
bad.
Like, yeah, hang on.
All right, see what's happening here? We begin spinning in circles that have created cycles of small habits. So we just keep doing the same thing, and then all of a sudden we kind of in this little cycle. And then we just kind of stay that way, y'all. And we just keep following out. We make a decision, and then we have to walk it out in a circle till we get back to the top. And then do it all over again. And y'all, some of us have been stuck in that for so long that that's just the cycle of our life. Productivity cycle, what is that? Accomplishing one extra task in a small feat on any given day. But it counts for a lot over an entire career. The effect of autopilot and old task or mastering a new skill can be even greater. The more tasks you can handle without thinking, the more your brain is free to focus on other areas. So you see where I'm going with it? How can we make it so consistent that it's second nature to us, to where like going to the gym is just going to the gym? And that's actually helps me get rid of a lot of stuff so that I can focus on my life. Because man, when I go to the gym, I'm like, I write the majority of these things in the gym. Like revelations come to me and all kind of stuff, because I'm like suppressing the mess that I have at work to be able to do stuff like this. Otherwise, I come home and the last thing I do is want to sit in front of a computer and write something because I've been doing it all day. But man, when I go to the gym, it shifts my brain, and then like I'm all about like helping people in motivation mode and this and that, and bro, all this content is just unbelievable. So that's our productivity cycle. Our stress cycle, the frustration of a traffic jam, the weight of parenting responsibilities, the frustration of so that's our stress cycle. So we keep going around and around in circles. The weight of parenting responsibilities, the worry of making ends meet, the strain of slightly high blood pressure. By themselves, these common causes of stress are manageable. But when they persist for years, little stress is compounded into serious health issues. Knowledge cycles. Learning one new idea won't make you a genius, but a commitment to lifelong learning can be transformative. Each book you read not only teaches you something, but also opens up different ways of thinking about old ideas. Warren Buffett says that's how knowledge works. It builds up like compound interest. So maybe that's all we need, y'all, to look at an old idea with new eyes, like something else, and just revisit it because we have it a revelation. So, but we have to get into that knowledge cycle where we're constantly trying to learn something. So what are the negative thought cycles? The more you think of yourself as worthless, stupid, ugly, the more you condition yourself to interpret life that way. You get trapped in a thought loop. The same is true for how you think about others. Once you fall into the habit of seeing people as angry, unjust, or selfish, you see, all you see is those kind of people everywhere. Anybody ever can second that, huh? Yeah. We start to think all these things and then we project them onto everybody that we know. I just witnessed that with some stuff that happened at work with and in our family. People have stuff that they've done their entire life and they begin to project that onto us because like they rejected you, they didn't fix this, they never called you, never did that. And then the first thing they do is what? Well, I mean, I felt rejected because I mean, I was never invited. Nobody ever called me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wait, what?
Right.
You know, so if you witness that, y'all, it's awful to watch. And then we have relationship cycles. People reflect your behavior back to you. The more you help others, the more others will want to help you. Being a little bit nicer, each interaction can result in a network of broad and strong connections over time. Can y'all relate to that? You had awful relationships with people, it came back and bites you in the face. You had really good relationships with people, it became life-giving. Like they blessed you in the future and they invited you here and they get you on vacation there. You had toxic relationships, it ended up biting you in the back, people talking smack on you, all the different things, okay? Now we have an outrage cycle. Riots, protests, mass movements are rarely the result of a single event. Instead, a long series of microaggressions and daily aggravations slowly multiply into one event tips the scale and outrage spread like wildfire. So an outrage cycle, y'all, we all have a little thing on the inside of us. 2 more pages and we done.
Outrage cycle, then everybody says, like clean up your junk. The stuff hadn't bit you in 2 years. We get rid of it.
Get rid of it. All right, circumstances, y'all. What is the root word of circumstances? Circle. Okay, let me give you some advice. Every decision we make in life, we will have to walk out in a circle. You understand where I'm going with that, huh? Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
come back around.
That's it. So don't ask God to guide your steps if you're not willing to move your feet. How many of us prayed that all the time? God, but you don't want to move your feet on it. You don't want to do it. Well, brother, it ain't just going to happen, okay? And a lot of times that is the carrot just dangling in front of our face. Is the exact thing that we don't want to do, that we keep blaming on everybody else. The doctors don't know how to fix me. They don't know what's wrong with me. They don't know this. But deep down inside, you've been knowing for a long time that you probably should have been walking. You know, there's a lot of people that man sees elderly, 70s, 80s years old, and it's just been going on for so long. And of course, it's the doctor's fault, it's this, it's that. I had to take care of my wife. I had all these excuses in the world to never do. You telling me over 20 years you've been having the same excuse? What's their problem? Not the walking. What?
They're not taking accountability.
The procrastinating. Yeah, and that's it. They're not taking accountability, number one. But secondly, they have been dealing with procrastination and the panic monster for so long, they just made him a bedroom. Like, you just come live over here, bro. You can live in my house. You can aggravate me. You can get under my skin. But I'm just going to tune you out. And when we tune out the panic monster in this one area of our life, when it really comes in our life to get our attention, we won't even hear it, dude. Because we have been tuning out the panic monster for so long. We have been turning the voice of God down so long. The volume is just... God's trying to talk. Hey, you need to do this. I'm telling you, if you do this, you call this person, you're going to get the job. You got to do this. And we are so burnt out from so many years of ignoring it, we don't even hear the voice of God anymore. That is a scary
I
place
think
to
some
be.
people like living with the panic monster. If there's not panic, they don't know what to do.
That's right.
Or like drama. They have to have drama in their life.
Or create it.
Yeah,
Or if they don't, they create drama.
That's right.
That's why
To have it in their life.
that's the same thing with Lacey and Connor. Like
Yeah,
that's why his
it's-
oldest son. Like that's why they are so toxically codependent on each other that's why they don't have good relationships with other people. Because most people won't engage with them like that. So they find each other to engage to basically not fight, drag out, fight each other, and then they're okay. Because they had somebody that's a punching bag.
But they're gonna create it. Because if it's not there, they create it.
They don't even know how to be.
Well, they're stuck
Yeah.
on that, right? Most
they
dude,
don't
you
even know.
ever been in an argument with somebody, your adrenaline starts flowing. They're hooked on that adrenaline. That adrenaline is a drug. So they're not, it's not the fact that they like to argue. They get this of like adrenaline, and dude, it literally is a rush. It's a drug. I mean, they're hooked on that. That's actually in Celebrate Recovery one of the things you have to recover from. Some people are literally hooked on that, like because it's a true drug. It's better than drugs on the street. It's so good, and people get into that with their mama and this, and they have this toxic thing to where like, bro, I'm kind of like that. I kind of grew up in a house that are yelling and all kind of stuff to where like it like promotes that on the inside of you, you know. And it's like I had to literally learn, number one, that's an issue, that's not acceptable. I should not be acting and behaving that way. I don't care how I was raised, but first I had to be made aware of it. Unfortunately, I had to be made aware of it when